Hello everyone and welcome. The purpose of this video is just to explain what's been happening of late in the global markets, mainly the US markets. So I am going to focus on mainly the following things. Number one is I'm going to focus on the Nasdaq charts. Number two, I'm going to focus on the S&P 500 charts. Number three, I'm going to focus on the volatility index for the US stock markets. And number four, I'm going to talk about what Nifty can do based on all these three charts. So just stay tuned. Slowly and steadily we'll move to each chart, and let's see what each chart has in store for us. Okay. So first, I'm going to talk about what has been happening in Nasdaq. So if anyone is following the US markets of late, you must have seen this unprecedented rally in Nasdaq. We've almost had no correction; it's just gone one way, and that's higher. We saw roughly a 32 to 33% drop in Nasdaq. So I'll just highlight it. It was trading at roughly 3,800 here in February, roughly on February 19th, 20th. And we had lows on the 23rd of February. The 23rd of March. We had lows formed when we had this very large gap down of about 6%. And since that day, what we are seeing is just this one-way movement in Nasdaq. So Nasdaq has only and only moved higher. When we compare this to the Nifty chart, Nifty has still had some minor corrections. It's still corrected a little bit every time it's moved higher, and then it's resumed its rally. But Nasdaq has pretty much just moved in one single direction. Some major highlights of Nasdaq, the entire index, is Tesla. So Tesla adjusted for for a stock split, for a 1:5 stock split yesterday. So don't be surprised if you're seeing these prices of around 475, 500. So Tesla has gained 1,000% in the last 12 months. Can you believe that number? 1,000%. And just to make things clear, the market capitalization of Tesla is larger than all the auto companies in the world combined. So just imagine what kind of a bubble we are in when the market cap of Tesla is larger than every single auto company combined. That is the unprecedented growth we are seeing. Second, we're going to talk about the Zoom video calling app. I'm sure most of you must have used Zoom in some form or the other in this entire lockdown period. Zoom has gained 500% in 5 months. And still it's probably, things are not over. Today itself, it's up 40% in one single day. Why is it up 40%? Because it reported stellar earnings. Of course, so many people have moved to the online learning portal. There's a lot of revenue flowing in. So, with Zoom, I wouldn't say that it's not too much of a surprise. As someone who could have seen a company like Zoom, which does video conferencing, you could have easily anticipated a move of 200 to 300%. 500% is great. But for something like Tesla, 1,000% in 1 year, it's just a very, very clear sign of a bubble. Now, next, let's talk about the S&P 500. So I'm just going to switch to the daily chart for the S&P 500. Again, the entire COVID move has been erased. It took a few more months to rise than to fall, but that is typical behavior. But the entire COVID loss has been wiped out in just a few months' time. Now tell me, who in this world would have anticipated a move like this? Who in the world would have anticipated new highs in the year 2020 itself? It's just truly shocking. One more interesting chart is the US VIX. We saw the VIX just take off and go to as high as 88, 87, 88. Now it's steadily moved back lower, steadily moved back lower. But in the last week or so, we've seen the VIX gain 30%. The VIX has gained 30% despite both the Nasdaq moving higher and the S&P 500 move higher. Generally, when the VIX moves higher with the stock market, it's a sign of a major collapse. It's a sign of a major fall. Let's see what can happen with Nifty. Yesterday, we got the news that the GDP for Q1 has contracted by a record 23.9%. It's a terrible sign, for a country like India. This kind of negative growth, it's a terrible sign. Before that news came out, we saw Nifty just crash the entire day. It moved from 11,750 odd to 11,300 odd. So it moved about 400 points in that day, and it put in this giant candle here. What happened with that candle was this entire uptrend of Nifty was broken. And for the next day, that is for today, when I'm recording this video, Nifty still traded below that trend line. Nasdaq has had a bubble-like move. If you see what happened back in 2000, it did something very similar. It did something absolutely similar. We saw it gain 275% in a span of 1 year. But that 275% is very different to today's 80%. And today's 80%, according to me, is much, much bigger than 275%. Why? Why is that? Because today's 80% includes trillion-dollar companies like Apple, trillion-dollar companies like Amazon. Apple has now become a $2 trillion company. $2 trillion. That's almost as much as the market cap of the entire Indian stock market. What does that mean? When you take all the stocks that are listed in India, every single stock that is listed on NSE, that is listed on BSE, every single stock that is listed, when you combine all of those, the size of that is equal to Apple. So when you talk about such large companies being part of the index and still the index gaining 80%, companies like Amazon, almost $2 trillion in market cap. The founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, very recently he hit $200 billion in wealth. Only last year he had $100 billion. His wealth has doubled in just 1 year. All these are just simply signs of bubbles. So whoever is long, whoever has long positions, stay extra cautious because a crash is around the corner. There will be a major correction. The correction will be of more than 10%. So be careful. All the charts are pointing towards a major bubble, a bubble that is much larger than the dot-com bubble of 2000. So longs need to be very, very careful. Adjust your portfolio in such a way that you're able to book all the gains, you're able to book profits, at least most of it, if not all of it, when this entire brilliant rally in the mid cap, in the large cap, in metals, in pharma, just make sure you're able to book a lot of profit on this rally because you never know when things, just move south. The market takes a long time to go up, but it takes only a short time to come down. All right, guys, so this was it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe to this channel and hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to put out a lot of more content in the coming days. And please comment down below of things you want me to cover. I will definitely have a look. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.